Hi again. It's been a little while since I did an update on the 50 Days of Movement challenge that I've set for myself and talked about here. So I wanted to give you an update. First, today's message is sponsored by punctuation. Let's eat, kids. Let's eat, kids. Punctuation saves lives. It really does. If you know me, you know I really like punctuation and puns and all that good stuff. So since I talked with you, take that off, I have been continuing to ramp up the crunches like I talked about in my last video every week, going up 5. I am on my week of 35 crunches, and believe it or not, I'm doing them, and they're getting easier. A really big trick for me was figuring out how to breathe. Minor detail I never really considered, but once I started breathing properly, it was amazing how much easier they were to do, less painful, and I felt far less lightheaded afterwards. So just a little tip there. But if all goes well, Saturday I'll go up to 40, and then the final week 45, and on my last day 50. So there will be another 50 days challenge. It may be back to back, probably, but take it 50 days at a time. So excuse I'm a little disheveled and sweaty. I just got finished working out here. I work out at the local that I work at, and after my shift. So my apologies for being a little gaunt and tired looking, but I am happy to say that I did accomplish. Today is day 33, and we're working. We're getting it done. And I did run into some insight last week that I wanted to share because I was having a conversation at a little Father's Day luncheon that we hosted at our house. I mentioned it to my daughter-in-law, and I've mentioned it to a few other ladies since then, and had similar reactions, which was kind of like a nod and a, yeah, So I have a feeling this is something that I'm not alone in experiencing. Maybe both men and women, but particularly women I've spoken with. And so I wanted to bring it to light here because it could be something that's getting in the way of your own fitness goals or whatever your goals are that keep getting hijacked for whatever reason. So last week, it was a really busy week. I had a lot of things going on, many good things, some events to plan or to meet up with folks, and getting a house ready for guests, and just a lot of stuff and extra work that I needed to stay longer hours. So I found my days were much more filled with things to do than usual. And every day I usually do some form of cardio and crunches for sure, and then occasionally I'll throw in arm weights or I'll throw in resistance bands. But I had 3 days last week that I didn't do any cardio. I didn't do a free walk, a treadmill, or these inside steps workouts that I do on this app that I subscribe to. And I felt like shit about that. I really did. I felt badly. I had been gaining momentum and stamina, and I knew that every day that I put it off going back, it would get harder when I returned, and I was totally right. And I just felt really badly. I felt like I was failing. It's like it's that straight A student syndrome that you want to do good, and you're like, I don't want to be. And last week I felt like I got a C or maybe a D, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about it. And I got back into the swing of things on Friday, which was after those 3 days, but it didn't change the fact that I felt like I sucked for 3 days. And I kept thinking, like, why, I'm so bothered by this. And then it kind of dawned on me over the weekend that this was really familiar. I'd been here before. And it's in the past, anytime I've tried to put some type of good habit some better behavior in place to make changes in life, whether it's fitness or diet or whatever. It doesn't even have to be related to that. And something would come up that I would let take priority over my own goals. And it's not like it was like thrust upon me. I mean, I let it happen. And I thought, shit, I'm doing this again. This is what I used to do. And I hate that. And I just, it was an insight that was a new insight, but it was like the ghosts of failures past, rearing their ugly head. And I just thought, I can't keep doing this. And so I hopped back on Friday, and I just was like, I have to recognize when I see this coming. I mean, it's one thing for, like, I was tired on the weekend when I was doing cleaning and stuff in the house, and I thought, I got a lot of cardio today. I really did. That's different. But these 3 days, it was putting something else, like, it was like bumping off my own priorities for something else. And that's not right. So, I've got to get more assertive for myself and really put myself first on those days when I want to just put myself in the bottom of the list. I'm known for doing that, and I have to recognize that's that Achilles heel of mine. So it was really big insight. I know I'm not alone. If there's other people who are hearing this and going, yeah, I recognize that. Feel free to comment. If you've dealt with it in the past and found some good strategies for dealing with it, we would certainly all welcome those too. Feel free to, again, chime in. But yeah, it was a good lesson to be reminded, and I think I'll be able to get through these next 17 days more successfully because it happened already. And but I'm tired. My body's tired because it's still not used to it. But I keep reminding myself I've been able to move for 33 days, and that's after being a very sedentary person for a long time. So I feel good about that. No matter what any scales or measurement tapes say, that right there is got to be doing my heart good and my circulation and everything else. Um, so I really hope, whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you're trying to move like me or if it's something else, that don't give up on yourself. Keep putting yourself first, and share what you're doing because you've got a lot of people rooting you on. Thanks for listening.